And ladies and gentlemen, I am joined with a very busy man. He is a musician and he is an educator. I like to call this man the jack of all trades. Plus, just a few weeks ago, he saw his vision became a reality yet again with the second annual Lexington Music Awards, which I was proud to attend. The one and only David McLean, he's here with me right now. What's going on, man?
Hey, man, good to talk to you, Kenny.
Good.
Thanks for the wonderful introduction.
You truly deserve it. And before we get into the award show recap, I want to ask you how much sleep have you gotten since the award show ended? Because after what you and everyone behind the scenes put the hard work in, you guys definitely deserve that rest. So I want to start off by asking how much rest have you gotten since the awards have
I've,
ended?
I've gotten at least a couple of hours, I'm sure.
Well, that's good to know, and just congratulations to you and everyone who put the work together. And I'm proud to be part of the local music community, um, uh, big or small, whatever the case may be. I'm just honored to be nominated, and I'm just honored just to be a part of the show. My family got a chance to get a glimpse of what the local music scene is like, because my family, we lived in Lexington before, but we never got a chance to see much of the local music scene. I've been the only person in my family that's got a chance to get a glimpse of the local music scene, and I like what I see. I like what I hear. It's always been good going to the local shows and just to check out these talented artists, and it's been a great, it's been quite a roller coaster. It's been a good ride, and the ride is
Yeah,
far
it
from
is.
over.
It's quite a scene, man. It really is. I mean, any particular scene or portion of the scene can ebb and flow at any time. The rock scene, or the country scene, or the jazz scene, or whatever. But when you kind of look at the entire scene as a whole, I mean, what's going on, whether it's the like in the classical world. I mean, if you look at whether you're looking at the Lexington Philharmonic or the CKYO or the Community Orchestra or UK's or any of the schools for that matter. I mean, including the high schools and the private schools and whatnot. You kind of suddenly go, wow. There's always a lot going on, and that's just in the classical world. And then you start looking at the jazz world or the country or hip hop or rock or on and on and on, and you just kind of go, wow. I guess the scene's always vibrant and vital, and it's so rich and diverse. It's just amazing what you have right here. And that's one of our big things. Is at some point we got to split these categories up because saying country alone just isn't enough. It's such a large catch-all kind of category, and it when you've got guys doing original country, new country versus say 70s country versus say like that 30s, 40s, 50s classic country era, or bluegrass, which is really just a wholly different thing. Even though it came off of that tradition, it's just I mean it's really, and the same thing with jazz. Whether you're looking at Dixieland or 50s cool or the bop era or fusion, or the later smooth type thing and all that. Man, there's so much going on, and Lexington has all of it. So it's just really it's really an amazing scene.
Indeed, it is, and I will tell you, this is the first award show of any kind I've ever been to, and being all dressed up in a suit, it felt pretty cool. It felt good to just go there and support my friends in the local music scene, and to see some of them actually perform. I gotta give a shout out to Ryan Sinclair and Sidney Cubitt, and Devon Carmer, you know, all Ron Crowder, like all the
Yeah.
performances were amazing. And shout out to Bill Mack and Angie Bevan, did an extraordinary job. And I like the back and forth between Bill and the band that they were playing throughout the night. That was some hilarious stuff as well. Clearly, they got some history with each other, so that gave us a lot of laughs. And then, and the war show for award show that had over 30 awards ahead now, and it went by pretty quick. A little,
Yep.
slightly over
Yeah.
2 hours. So
Yeah,
overall,
a little over 2 hours. I think next year we can actually we've taken a look at it, and I think we did much better than we did last year. But we've got a lot of room for improvement. I think we can tighten it up even more. The goal is to come in at just under 2 hours and get more musical performances. I think we can add three. So I'm just going to go ahead and announce it on your show. I haven't said this publicly yet. I
hmm
think we're going to be able to get three more performances in next year and bring it in an hour and 59 minutes.
there's a goal right there for David McLean, and thank you for making that announcement right here on Chilling with Jeff and Kenny C. More performances to come next year, so stay tuned for that. And while we're on the subject of the Lexington Music Awards, you have what is called the Lexi Fest Series, which is a collective of shows that
Yeah.
has nominees and those who could be nominees. So what has that been like being in the works, trying to, you know, make this all happen again? You know, as far as the series, as far are there any venues out there that are open to be a part of this?
Oh yeah, we did because of course we did the series, and you were there at some of the shows last year,
Yes, it
if I
was.
recall. You were down on the river and at Proud Mary's and some of the others. But yeah, we last year we did Natasha's, of course, is closed since, but we did Natasha's, we did Cosmic Charlie, Dr. Cosmic Charlie's, and several others. This year we've already gotten confirmations from Willie's when they reopen. The Willie's will be reopening. I'm not sure exactly what the timeline is, 3, 4, 5 weeks, something like that. So yeah, we've already talked to Willie's. We'll have one there. We've got confirmation from O'Neill's, which is a great. I hadn't been in O'Neill since they had sort of remodeled, and they're under new ownership. Man, they've done some great things. But I was there with for the after party after the award show, and it was great. So I called him up and said, "Hey man, can we do Lexi Fest?" He's like, "We're all in. Let's do it." So yeah, I think we'll get those and some of the places we did last year for sure. We'll be down at Proud Mary's again on the river, and yeah, I think it's going to be great. Good, a great series of shows. We're trying to get out to Richmond, Berea, Winchester, Georgetown, Nicholasville, Frankfurt, on and on, all the surrounding, Paris, all the surrounding areas, Versailles. Um, we want to get all those and really expand because we had a lot of nominees outside the county line, so to speak, this time, which is what it's supposed to be. It's not just supposed to be Lexington. It's supposed to be the entire central Kentucky, Lexington area. And so we're hoping to have 6 or 8 of those LexiFest shows all in 5, 6, 8, 10 different venues would be just fantastic. That would be a great thing to see, and then next year expand even further out. But yeah, and we've got a lot of great artists who've already signed on and said they'd love to do it. So it's just a matter now of trying to get different people, put different artists together and on different stages and work out all the logistics, the dates and times and get all that worked out. That's always a little bit, can be a little bit of a headache when you're dealing with schedules, but that's all right.
Indeed it is. And I was at the Wild Pop show at Cosmic Charlie's last year. And then the last one I was on, it was at Primary's Barbecue. That was the last of the
Yeah.
shows. And I actually interviewed the performers. I interviewed Chung Ying Twins, Sydney, and Haley. Some of the performers. It was an overall good time, and everyone be on the lookout for the Lexi Fest series coming soon. And again, Lexington Music Awards. Everyone enjoyed the last 2 years. The coverage has been getting, and they'll be back at it next year. So just keep an eye. Matter of fact, there's a page on Facebook in which you could be a part of if you're a fan or you're a promoter or you are anything within the music community. You could join the group and add some ideas or suggestions for future award shows or even for the LexiFest shows as well. So just be a part of
That's
it,
right.
and
Yeah.
we'll Dave and all the administrators will be happy to add you and just chime in. We are one very happy collective family, so we open to ideas. They open to ideas.
Yeah, that's it. The I think this year's show I think was twice as good as last year, and it should be noted that all the changes that were made, none of those changes were my ideas. Um, I basically we had the first show and then I said, great, we're all on cloud nine. It went off without too many problems, and we're all happy. And now it's time to sort of take inventory, see what we did right, see what we did wrong, see where we can improve. And every single one of the ideas that we implemented belonged to somebody else. It was we've got over 1,000 people on the page, and people came forward and said, well, you should have a live band. The pre-recorded music is okay. We get it on TV, but we're sitting in a live audience. We're not watching on TV. We think a live band would be better. Okay, let's do that. And all the other ideas that were brought forth. None of those ideas were mine. Those were all ideas that other people put on the table. We had a lot more ideas than just that, and we're still trying to implement as many of those as we can. Some of them we can, some of them we can't, but that's the idea. People just they chime in, say how they want it done. We even had a tie this year for the first time, and I had no idea how to handle that. I mean, I knew that'd come up at some point, but I just hadn't given it any thought. So I went on and said, okay, what do we do? I don't know. What's the best way to handle this? And we had about 5 or 6 different ideas as to how to work it out, and ultimately we opted to do what we did, which was go ahead and present the award to both. When there's a tie, go ahead and give it to them both. No runoff voting or anything like that. We just opted to let the tie stand because that's what happened. And so in the hip hop category, it went to both Divine Karama and Hybrid Rapper. And I know that was a tough call for everybody involved because the talent pool in the hip hop category was just unreal. Any one of those guys were good enough to walk home with it, and it was just amazing. And the performance, we had 3 out of 4 of the nominees, which had been booked prior to the nomination process. Otherwise, we would have tried to get the other guys on there too. But we had Divine and Shiesty and Hybrid all on the same stage, man, doing their thing, and that was just, for me, that was a real treat, because those guys are just sort of hip hop royalty in this area, and to get all 3 of them on at one time, to me, was just something else. That was and was a great testament to not only their talent, but their humility and their sense of community, that they would, as big a character as each one of those guys are, that they would set everything aside and step up there with their fellows and their fellow musicians and do their thing. Because so often there's a sense of competition, and I thought that they demonstrated that we can all rise above that. They set a bar for us all to reach, to set our egos aside and step up to the plate collectively. And man, it demonstrated great things. We had the same thing with the blues category, where we had Ron and Goose and G Busy and Harold all on the same stage doing their thing. Man, they were just amazing blowing harmonicas. Man, that was just something else. And I just think all the performances here were just incredible and wonderful and collaborative, and that was just a great thing.
All the performances was truly amazing, and also to see Wine and Jenna and Sydney to premiere a brand new original song on the award show. That was truly awesome as well. So
that's right. Yeah, they did. That was a brand new song. I had never performed that, and the 3 of them got together and it was amazing, man. I had chills with those harmonies.
Mm-hmm. So, in addition to preparing for the 3rd annual Lexington Music Awards, as well as the LexiFest shows, are there any other projects you have in the works that people need to check out?
Oh man, I'm always, I'm a self-employed musician, so I'm wearing a lot of hats. I produce and I teach and I perform and record. We've got and my company, Skinny Double Music Lab, and of course we have both Skinny Double music instruction, where I'll be doing, I do regular guitar lessons, but I also go around and I do songwriting clinics and music business clinics. improvs and all sorts of things. I go around to whether it's private music stores or high schools or universities. So I do those kind of things. I've got I've got some in the area coming up real soon. We'll be announcing those real soon. We've got the other Skinny Devil projects, like Skinny Devil Mobile Recording. Matthew Flores is at the helm of that project. We're starting a booking agency to try to make sure that the artists get more gigs easier. They get to keep more of their money than they do if they go through another booking agency, where it traditionally takes at a local level more like 50%. So we're trying to make sure that that we're providing a good service for the venue, so it's good for them, it's good for the artists because they get to keep most of their money, and then the person in charge of that project will be making some money. So we're mostly just providing opportunities. That's the big thing. And there's all sorts of other projects that we have going on. And then on a personal level, I've got things like the polar plunge I'm about to do next week. So they got me talked into jumping into some freezing cold water I think it's Saturday morning. So I don't know how I got talked into that thing, but everybody ought to come on out and they can see me hit the freezing water and watch my heart explode. I'm just hoping all my medical friends come out so somebody's there to revive me and hand me a Bloody Mary when I get out of the ice cold water.
Man, and I also hear that Liz Davenport is in there as well. So you.
Yeah, I think it was Liz and Joseph who talked me into it. I got to go back and look. I'm not sure how that happened, but yeah, Liz with Greenhouse 17 and Joseph Waite, who's the sort of the captain of the team over there, and somehow the two of them finagled things around. Next thing I knew, they had me included on the team. I was like, wait a minute, did I agree to this? So yeah, so somehow that worked out. So, but it's for a good cause. I mean, it's raising money for Special Olympics and that sort of thing. So I think it's going to be. I think it starts at like 10 in the morning over there. Shoot me, I forgot the name of the restaurant right there in front of Kroger on Richmond Road, the Texas Roadhouse, I think it is, and so they'll have a big ice bucket of a pool set up, and we'll be leaping in.
Well, it looks like I better make plans to attend there for sure. I've played some role in Special Olympics in the past, so I'm always good with those people. It's all for a great cause, and you all should check it out if you got no plans. I know there's a Kentucky game next week, but that's later in the afternoon. So, start your Saturday morning. I'll go check out Dave and Liz and then the rest of the crew. And it's all
they
for
can
a
watch
good
me
cause.
die. They can watch me die to get them warmed up for the UK game.
For that to happen if that would have happened in the summer, springtime, you probably think maybe, okay, it's not that bad. But in the winter, we're still in the winter. Yeah, I can feel why you're like, man, what did I just sign up for this? I mean,
that's right. Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but I keep hoping I'll get like hit by a truck first, but Joseph keeps telling me there's no getting out of it.
Well, you've had a busy day already, and your busy day is far from over, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. But thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure getting to know you. And once again, I'll say this again, congrats to you and everyone for putting this award show together. And for more info on the winners for not just this year, but for last year's as well, go to LexingtonMusicAwards.org for the complete list of winners and nominees for the first two awards. Dave?
That's right, LexingtonMusicAwards.org. That's right, yeah.
Great chatting with you, man. You have a great night.